Here is a proof of concept app I've been working on. It uses the shuttle radar topography data and draws a digital terrain map using OpenGL with hill information from the UK Hills database. It does need a reasonably beefy Android device. It's running here on an Nexus 7, although it will run quite happily on things such as a Galaxy S2. It runs in real time, although with a fairly slow frame rate, so it's not gaming performance, but it does work quite successfully because it enables you to pan around and to zoom in and out, which I'll show you in a minute. I did originally think Google Earth might do something like this, but the optimizations they've made make it very poor at showing topography more than 1 or 2 kilometers from your current viewpoint. And having seen the work that Jonathan Ferranti had done with his viewfinder application, I thought that GPUs would actually make it practical to do that more successfully. And having spoken with John and discussed things with him on email, I've set off down this track quite a while ago now to see what would happen. So it harnesses the power of a GPU really to make the whole thing feasible in a much more interactive way. This is the view from Arthur's Seat in Edinburgh, and we're looking out to sea or north into Fife basically. So there is the view into Fife. Here are the Lomond Hills, and you can tap on a hill to get up a very little basic information about the hill, what it is and how far away it is. It's using a very simple shading algorithm. The colour is derived purely from the height at the point, and it then uses an OpenGL shader to apply some lighting transforms to that as well. It marks, as you can see, all the hills that you should be able to see from the current viewpoint. It can get a bit exciting when you get into some of the more interesting areas of countryside. So we can zoom in to expand the display and enable us to see a little bit more clearly what's going on. There are gaps at the moment between the tiles that you will have noticed going past in 1 or 2 places. That's because I haven't actually written the code yet to do the normalization to enable me to draw the gaps between the tiles. Let's see, where are they? There are some around. There's one hiding along there that you can just see. Of course, if we swing right round here, we've gone through west and we're looking west from Arthur's Seat now and looking into the Pentland Hills. And again, we can get up the information about any of the hills that it's identified. The algorithms it's using to find out visibility and so forth are still a little bit experimental, shall we say, but it does appear to be, on the whole, working out quite successful answers. And now we're looking further around to the south, past the Pentland Hills and up into the uplands. I'm not completely sure that it's actually identifying all the hills correctly yet, but that's actually down to some simple coding problems rather than anything more than that. It's quite tricky to actually identify what's viewable and what isn't. There's a nice little gap in the landscape. But overall, it's looking like a fairly successful way of using a GPU, and it can successfully process data at the moment up to about 40 or 50 kilometers. Zoomed in, it should be able to go quite a bit further than that, but I haven't actually got code running in there to back that up at the moment. And now we're running on a Galaxy S2 up Cat Bells in the Lake District, just for a different point of view. There's obviously an awful lot more hills to see up here, but we can still do all the things we could do before.